Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we've only got a little bit of time to let some people join in here. You know, when I first tested this thing, I did it late at night just to see how it worked, because there's no way to test it. You've got to just go live, and that's that. And that first test at like 2:30 in the morning, I think I got more viewers than I get now. It was like I didn't want anybody to pop in, and all of a sudden, everybody was popping in, and I'm like, well, hey, and it turned into a regular live stream. It was pretty cool. See, we got 4 people here. Joe Morgan, God, you're going to be like my #1 fan. Well, next to the guy below you there, Jake. And Jake is actually the reason all of this is up and going. He's the guy that, you don't mind me calling you out, do you, Jake, on here? Tell me before I go telling him about our secret lives together. Just comment in there. Let me know. Anyhow, anybody that's in here, why don't you guys just throw up on the chat where you're from, closest big city, state, whatever. It's kind of cool to see who's in here and how far we reach. And Joe's got nothing better to do today. Yeah, no shit. You wouldn't be hanging out here if you did. Michael Wendenson, my tree's down, end of the curb. There's always one guy. One guy's got to do it, right? But then there's always one guy that's got his friggin' tree up still. I was going to, before I put this on, I was going to say, I promise you next week the tree will be down. Or at least maybe unplugged. How's that? Now if the wife came down here, she'd have it out. But Jake, absolutely not. You don't mind? I'm pretty sure you don't mind. You don't care. Okay. So anyways, Jake, I said Joe's in on every one of these streams, I think, from the beginning. And Jake, that you see there, Jake Null, he is the reason I even have a channel and everything. He was the guy that came up with the idea. A lot of the videos you see shot are at his place. Some of the Krebs videos, a lot of good stuff there. I don't know. The pocket pistol one was shot there. And Jake is my buddy that's in the video with me there. So Jake came up with this idea a couple of years ago that we should do this YouTube channel, because I used to talk about Rob Ski all the time. And he wanted to do one, and we came up with a name and all. There's actually a channel. I think there's maybe one video, Jake, up there. But his channel, I call it his because this was all his idea, was called 2, the number 2, and then fat, and then tactical, 2 Fat Tactical. And his idea behind the channel was going to be that, you're just a little too fat to be tactical, a little too fat to fit into body armor, a little too fat to not be winded just walking to the bench, let alone, running through a course and all that other stuff. And it was just to be out there. You got so many guys that are so serious and tactical and training and this and that. And that's all well and good, guys. Trust me, I love it. I do it as much as I can, but I'm getting to that age and the weight and I smoke like a fiend, and you just can't do it like these guys do. So it was going to be kind of tongue-in-cheek channel, kind of just funny stuff. We were going to do all kinds of cool stuff. And I don't know, just at the time I had a lot more time on my hands because I owned my own business, and now I'm working for somebody else and just don't have the time to do it. So it kind of fell apart a little bit. I'm hoping Jake takes over and does his channel on 2 Fat Tactical. we'll see. We'll see what happens. So anyways, Jake's the reason for this. You've seen Jake in the videos there. Jake's from Wisconsin as well, and grew up on a dairy farm. And he's just one of them guys that anything, do everything. If you give him a pile of a wire, a welder, and whatever, an old pickup truck and a 50 cal, he'd figure out how to make a armor vehicle out of it, something like that. And never turns you down. He's always there. If I called him, he'd be there at 2 a.m. without a question. I'd just say, I need you. Boom, hang up the phone. He'd show up. Anyhow, that kind of guy. So it's good to have him in here tonight. I'm going to go through what we're going to be talking about tonight, and then we'll go through the chat here real quick. I'm going to be talking about just kind of the state of affairs around what's going on in the Capitol. Inauguration's coming up Wednesday, right? Wednesday. And, they're making all kinds of preparations and just kind of things I see and hear and feel. They talk about all this internet chatter and stuff. So I'm going to go over that a little bit. Going to go over the state of ammo and what's available out there. And that's going to lead into some things you need to get your hands on now before this administration takes over. And that's not to say, on Inauguration Day, but real quick, just so you guys know, he has already penned, ready to go. I'm sure they're already in those nice little things they put where they sit them at a desk with a line of 30 pens, but he's got 26 executive orders ready to go the day he takes office. And I doubt he's going to do it the first day, but, if he promises the first 10 days, they've revealed about 10 of them, and they run the gamut from reversing the Paris Climate Accord to, the stuff they have revealed are mostly repealing stuff Trump did. So we're essentially just jumping backwards 4 years, right? A lot of wasted time thanks to this new administration. But the ones they're not revealing, I'm sure, and a week, 2 weeks from now in one of these streams, you guys can call me out if I'm wrong. But I guarantee you there's some firearm bills in there. I'll bet my life that the first one you see, you'll see an assault weapon ban, but I don't know that you'll see that right away. What you're going to see is an executive order banning imports, meaning imported firearms and maybe ammunition. That would be tragic for people like me, my channel, all of us, because, Russian ammo is cheap. And it's not that it's any more dangerous or anything like that. It's just cheap, very cheap. So we can shoot a lot and have fun, and of course, they want to take that away from us. Anyhow, please don't mind my slurping. I got to have coffee. So that's what we're going to go over tonight, guys. Let's jump in the chat here real quick, if I can. I'm using a light tonight, guys. I don't know if it looks any different, but the problem is it's glaring in my face, and I'm probably going to turn it off. Oh, with any luck, the battery will run out, but let's see. So Joe's in here. Joe Morgan. Thanks, Joe, for your support going on and on. He's the main guy asking questions. Without him, I'd have nothing to talk about. Of course, we got Jake. We talked about that. Who else we got in here? Mike's got his tree down. Idaho. What the hell's going on in Idaho, Joe? Oh, you're from Idaho. Are you really? I would love to live in that state. It's probably one of the most safe states there is as far as, government and 2A and God, you border another country, which is good. And I think you're pretty straight. I know a lot of the capitals out that way from Helena and Montana are being invaded by California people, I'm going to have these shirts made up. Someone's already got them because I saw them, but it says, don't California me, bro. And yeah, I agree. Texas agrees too. I think it was Glenn Beck came up with that. Said, don't California me, bro. Why would you move out of a state? You're running from a state due to taxes, government overreach. all these things, crime, debt, taxes, all that crap. You're going to move to a new state, one that you've probably researched. It looks nice. Things are lovely. Things are going on there. They're building businesses and communities. And you're going to go there and vote for the same type of people, the same party, and the same ideas that you just ran away from. You friggin' idiot. And that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. It's unreal. So yeah, don't California me, bro. And don't New York me. On the other coast, don't New York me, bro, like they're doing in Florida. It's unbelievable. They go down there and same damn thing. It's unreal. Anyhow, let's see. So we got people from Idaho, Wisconsin, west suburbs of Chicago. Fish, golf, and guns. I'm from Chicago originally. Then I moved way west, little farm town out in past the suburbs of Rockford, and still go down there, see my kids and everything all the time. And we do a lot of shooting down there and all that kind of stuff. So I know Chicago well. What suburb? Well, you probably don't want to get too personal. Fishing, golf, and guns. That's an excellent name. Yes, it is. Right, Jake? Then that's everything Jake likes to do. He got into golf somehow. I went through that phase already. We don't do golf anymore. I got crazy with it. I get crazy with any hobby. That's Jake. It's insane. Leave it up to some people. Yeah. Nope, I don't mind. Yep, I've been slacking hardcore. Yes, you have on your channel. Joe Morgan. I'm 300, but what? I think I can squeeze to an XL body armor. I just got body armor, guys. I weigh, as the other day I was at the doctor, and I weigh like 236 or something. I'm normally like 221, 222 all the time. Like to get down to 195, but this COVID and all this crap's put some weight on me. But I bulk up in the winter. Anyhow, I got some body armor. Don't laugh. AR 500. That's the name of the company. But I got their ceramic, and it's a custom ceramic that was made for them. It'll stop everything up to and including the green AR green tip ammo, 7.62 by 39 steel core, but it will not stop 30-06. Anything above that, 30-6 armor piercing, obviously, but it'll stop the green tip and the 193 AR ammo too. And you know what? Oh, it won't stop 308. So for the most part, it'll cover that. If I want to, I can just get some level 3+ plate steel, but this stuff's pretty light, nice. Got it in one of their carriers, and you take it out of the box and you go, holy cow, this is small. It looks like it's made for a little kid, but when you think about it, it really has to cover from right here where it your bone is for your the whatchamacallit bone, and it's just got to cover the up to the bottom of your rib cage. Really, you're protecting your lungs and your heart, the boiler room, so to speak. So it really doesn't need to be that big. They're like, I don't know, 11 by, somebody tell me the standard measurements, like 11 by 10 or 13 by 10 or something like that. And they make shooter's cuts, which whatever side your arm is up for the rifle, it's cut in more, so there's room to shoulder the weapon. Or there's a swimmer cut where both sides are angled, and that's what this is. So I got more movement. It's lighter, but there's less protection, but it's small. I got it on and I thought, oh, Jesus, I look ridiculous in this thing, But once you get it sized up and all the adjustments made with the straps and all, it goes on pretty good, covers pretty good. I got most of the pouches I want. It's kind of neat because just with the admin pouch in front, there's a kangaroo pouch in it. So if I want to just use that with 3 mags up front, it's really low profile. So if you're going prone or something like that, it's not, you see some of these guys and their chest, their carrier and everything's out to here. And I on the outside of it with 3. If I want, I could carry the kangaroo and that, which brings. It's not supposed to. It's a little uncomfortable that way, but if I wanted to, I can. I've got a cummerbund that I can do with or without, and it's laser cut, so it's not. It's Molly, but it's like the holes. I don't know how you describe it. So I can put side plates in there. I can put another mag pouch, one on each side, pistol mags, and IFAK in the back. And they're sold out of a lot of stuff that match it. I got multicam, so just waiting on some of that to come back in stock and finish it off. But it does feel good to have that. Do I run around my house in it, playing G.I. Joe? No. Will I wear it to the range? Maybe, because you want to see how things work, right? You want to see how your slings work, if anything hangs up, your rifle, this, that. Make sure nothing's in the way, and what you can deal with or what you can deal with and without kind of thing, So, yeah, I'll probably do some training with it, get used to the weight, this and that, moving around with a pistol, that type of thing. They call it, I've seen this term used and I just never knew what it was. What's LARPing? LARPING? Anybody know what LARPing is? I think it's got something to do with like some dork running around his house with the stuff on or something, but I don't know the exact, whatchamacallit. So if anybody knows, let me know. But yeah, it's a good feeling to know I have it, where if you had a situation, you could throw it on real quick and, hey, you're protected. Because who wants to bite it? Nobody wants to take a dirt nap, And it's protection. It's not an offensive thing. It's not for going on the offensive. It's not for anything like that, like some of these politicians that want to get rid of body armor, right? It's to protect yourself. So they want to legislate against protecting yourself, but they want to legislate against everything, right? So I'm 300. I think I can squeeze an extra large body armor. By the way, no size on this stuff. Just it is what it is. And it fits well. It's comfortable too. And it's pretty light. I think I can show that on YouTube. I should probably pull that out. They don't let us show guns, but that. Chinese imports, that's exactly what's going to happen to the new stuff, Jake. Chinese imports, we lost those back to, was that Bush, Reagan? I don't know, one of them. But, Chinese imports were coming in. It's funny, back then, everyone considered them junk, garbage. What are you buying that for? Or preppers bought them, Chinese AKs, the nicest stamp stuff out there in the world, were $199, $299. We went over that last week. But yeah, so those were banned back then, and that's essentially what's going to happen now. We lost mallet rifles, Vepers, to that was Obama. And they don't ban in those cases, they didn't ban the weapons specifically. Like with Vepr, that had to do with the parent companies or Kalashnikov concern doing something or dealing with countries we didn't want them to deal with as far as arms sales and stuff like that. So they banned them because of that, and it's a side effect kind of deal. The trade embargoes, stuff like that. So this case, I'm pretty sure he's going to ban them specifically. It's unreal. I mean, the good news is we do have some replacements in a way. We'll never have replacements for the original. And for somebody like me that collects some imports or where it's at, you have Palmetto State Armory. They've got theirs dialed in now after Generation 72. Generation 5, 6, whatever it is. Took them quite a few tries. I don't know. This country can put people in space and on the moon and all this craziness, but we can't build the simplest of firearms. An AK, we can't get one that holds together, right? But Palmetto State Armory has done it. They've got FN barrels. They've got they're nice guns. I've held one. I have not shot one. I don't know of, personally how they hold up, but the new ones seem to be working just great. And then you have Kalashnikov USA, which, has been hanging around here for 8 or 9 years, promising, not coming out with anything. Every SHOT Show, they'd say, oh, we're going to have this and that. And they finally brought out a shotgun 2 years ago. And that shotgun's actually really nice. And then they came out with the 9mm AK. And that is a direct copy of the Vityas. And by all accounts, well, I've seen one. I had Krebs was doing them, and I got to see one of his early guns. Oh my God. You guys have no idea how beautiful this man finishes guns. Jake can attest. Jake's been to the shop with me, and the work he does is just phenomenal. But forget about what Krebs did to it, just the gun. I saw him there before he even started his stuff, and phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And they are a direct copy down to every detail. And their new 103 now that's out, that's right there too. Incredible. So I'm excited about that. So if you do lose them, at least we've got that. But and hopefully you guys have gotten what you need and have put it away. I'm going to get to that later in the stream here. Let's see. So Chinese imports, we covered that. Yeah, it's a fun state, Rock, but it's really been a hard fight. Really, in Idaho, huh? I'm surprised. Is it like Helena where, you got the same problems Montana does, that the liberals tend to congregate in the cities and end up, 1% of the geographical area votes for 99% of the rest of the state, right? Believe it or not, down in Illinois, same way. Same damn thing. If you think about it, Chicago controls the rest of the state. When you get down to southern Illinois, they have heavier southern accents than people from Georgia. I kid you not. It's crazy. You'd never think you were in the same state. And you get out west where we moved after living in the city, where we moved to, the ideals and the way you raise your children and your beliefs and everything are completely different than Chicago. I'm not saying that there's not good people in Chicago and good people out there. There's good people, but just those beliefs in self-sufficiency and not relying on the government and being responsible for yourself and your actions and your children and their actions, that type of thing, it's just more ingrained. It's just more ingrained. The work ethic, and I'm painting with a broad brush here, but it's true. It just is. Some of the best people I've ever met were from there. And I just, when we were moving up north here, I had just wished I could take my place and plunk 30 miles north, and I would have been great. Wouldn't have had to change anything. Fish, golf, and guns. You grew up in Freeport. Well, guess where Jake is from? Jake's from Freeport, my man. You guys got something in common. Let's see. See if I can get down here. Guys, I'm sorry, this stream jumps and I try to get in and to where I'm following it. Scorpion tactical gear. Any thoughts? Not sure on Scorpion. Never heard of it. A lot of it, guys, is made in China and branded for whoever here. I got a feeling AR-500. I got a sneaking suspicion that their stuff is made by Blackhawk, which is Chinese stuff. But made in China, they can specify the quality level they want, And I'm telling you, this carrier I got, it's top notch. It's really, really nice. Double stitched, everything. 308. No, that's around there. That's Jake's favorite round, 308. We do some long distance shooting with these Savage rifles we have. Got a video out on it. I think Jake's in it, actually. Body armor. What I'm doing with the 1400 I spent on, yeah, right? You can get, they had a hell of a deal on that ceramic. I mean, all in under $500 with all the good stuff. And they don't have it anymore. But it was made by somebody for them, a special round. Patriot in the Dark. Evening, Jake. Is that somebody we know, Jake? Having curved plates makes a big difference. Yes, it does. I have curved plates. Let's see. Bet politicians won't get rid of their armor, though. No, they won't. And either will their people that protect them, you know. I'm getting to the end where I'm caught up here, so that'll be good. That Chinese ban was in 94. Yes, it was. Correct. Always trying to take something from us. Outstanding man. The boot. Opinion on what? Bakels and Ishmael shotguns? Oh, what's that name of that company? Bakal, I think, right? I had a Bakal. Funny, it was a coach gun, stagecoach gun. Whatever the minimum length barrel is, 18, 20 inch, something like that. Side by side hammer gun, and break open. And it said Remington on the side until you looked underneath on the bottom of the receiver. It said made in Russia by Bakal. It was barely okay. It was very stiff. It would not break in. It worked. Well, I think there was, I can't remember, something wrong. Got rid of it anyhow. It's no comparison, let's say, to Turkish guns. I got that new CZ Bob White or something. It's a side-by-side. I got it for pheasant hunting. And it's got Turkish walnut and everything. Much finer finishing. Done really well. Smooth action. I don't care much for those Bakal guns. As far as, what was the other one you mentioned? Ismash? Yeah, that's the best, man. That's where it's at. Those were the original Russian 12 gauges, that now we've got Vepers, which were made in the Mollet plant. A little bit different. You don't have the adjustable gas system, but yeah, those are great. I mean, Ishmash, if you got an Ishmash AK, that's everything. That's the world. That's the original, the best, the greatest. So yeah, anything from there, magnificent stuff. It's the Boise Liberal Hub. Rest is Wild West. Yeah. But it shot clays at my house just fine. Yeah, it did. It did. That's right. We were chucking them up at that party there, chucking up clays and whacking them. So what's going on in the Capitol? Well, it started out 4,000 troops, 5,000 troops, 6,000 troops, and bam, we are at 25,000 troops and counting. I've heard mention that we've got more troops in our capital right now than we have in Afghanistan and Iraq combined. That's lovely, isn't it? Military state we live in. Friends of my son was in the National Guard. His best friend is on standby for where's he at? He's still in Illinois, I think, Springfield. They have magazines and ammo. Then yesterday, I believe it was, I heard that my connection's unstable. Imagine that. I start talking about, I just had such a sneaking suspicion. My buddy over at 2AU always calls, the powers that be at YouTube, he calls them Susie Wiki. I think the president of the company is Suzanne something or other. So he cuts deals with her, he says, sends her little presents so he doesn't get his channel cut off or anything. But anytime I start talking about anything sensitive, all of a sudden it gets unstable. I get a little thing up here that says, your stream is unstable. It's probably lagging for you guys. And all of a sudden, bam, your stream gets cut off. But yeah, Susie Wiki. I like that. Anyhow, so I did hear then that they took either, I don't know exactly, either took the ammo away from them or took ammo and rifles away from them both. That's great. So you got 25,000 troops that can, what, throw sticks at you? Whatever, I don't know. Sense. They've got double, triple layers, fences, this, that, cement blockades, all this craziness. And they try to say, well, there's outside threats to make it seem a little less whatever. But we all know they are afraid of what happened the week before. And of course, guys, you can't condone violence, right? And I don't think the majority of people that went there were there to do violence. I think there were some, my opinion at least, were some hired hands, so to speak. And I think they got people riled up. And of course, some people weak-minded, excited, whatever, involved and did the wrong thing. And let's face it, you do the wrong thing, you break the law, you should be responsible for it. Absolutely. I agree with that 100%. Those people should be held accountable. There's ways to protest, and that's in a, I won't say friendly, but peaceable manner, and let your voice be heard. And some may say, well, they don't hear that, and we've tried that. Well, like they say in Patriot, and I said last week, then we try again and again and again, because the only other option is not a good one. You would not be happy with it, I promise you. Those guys that yell and scream for it and wish it and all that stuff, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't. They really don't. And guess what? They wouldn't be there anyways. They wouldn't. You'd look behind you and go, oh, where'd they go? You'd be the only one standing there. And that's not to say I agree with what's going on. I agree there should be investigations. I don't know what the solution is, guys. There's much smarter men than me out there. And, we've never really had this happen before. But certainly between the election and inauguration is nowhere near enough time to have any kind of investigation, right? So I don't know. Let me look at the comments here real quick. That Chinese band, okay. It's creepy as hell, the troop numbers. Yeah. How'd you like to be living in that city and see all that? I did hear a rumor of a bunch of tanks in Kentucky moving that way, and that they weren't on trucks, that they were filling up at the pump. Well, that makes no sense to me. That's not how they travel. Imagine what the highway would look like after they came through. Unless they got rubber tracks on them. Evening. Danny's Plant-Based Journey. Good to have you here. Some of my buddies stopping over from 2A-EDU. Did you guys see his video tonight? He put out a short 5-minute video on the Second Amendment. And, man, it just hit home. It was so to the point and powerful. It was unbelievable. And in a way, I was so glad to see it, because it just hit hard, man, and got some of those people that are sitting on their rear end, not doing anything, to maybe think a little bit. And it just hit so hard that it made me happy that it would get people moving, but it made me happy because it was kind of stole my thunder a little bit tonight. But I can't do it anywhere near as good as he does it. If I had software here, I would actually drop some of his video clips in here and let him do the talking, and then me get my point across, because it was that good. So when you get a chance, go over there and check it out. But we're going to talk about some of it here in a minute. Let's see. Yep, I was preaching yesterday on a subject that the masses don't want to hear, and all of a sudden my stream was unstable and my connection was bad. Yeah, right? Never fails. Never fails. That's while I think they're controlling the stream, They're driving it along, and then they start hearing what they don't want to hear. And, that's while they're sticking their head in the sand, or they're just turning their back on you. They want to disconnect you. Who else? Oh, they got you now, buffering big time. Is it even now? Shouldn't be. I turned down resolution. Yeah, guys, if I'm buffering bad and it looks crappy, go down to your settings just below the screen on YouTube there. There's a little gear, and instead of 1080, take it down to 740 or whatever, and it'll get better for you. I'm sorry. I just got a crappy internet connection out in the country. But we do our best. All right, gentlemen, make an outstanding night. I got to run. See ya. I did. It was funny. My dad had to say the damnedest things moment. Okay. So, anyways. So he's got these 26 executive orders coming down, right? And I'm pretty sure they unveiled 10 of them or so. And I'm pretty sure out of the other ones, there's going to be some stuff in there about gun control. And my bet is that the first one will be the ban on imported weapons and ammunition. Second, there'll be an assault weapon ban. I can't this and that. Everybody's got an AR-15. AR-15s aren't military weapons. They're, you all use them for hunting. You go out by us here or by Jake, everybody's got one. You hunt coyotes with it. You use a 308 to hunt deer. They're hunting guns. It's like anything else. Where did all our bolt-action hunting rifles come from? Take one guess, guys. One guess. Military, right? Whatever the military has, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years later, trickles down into the sporting community. So we went from muzzle loaders and flintlocks to repeating lever action guns. You're here. Let's talk about what's the most popular deer gun on the planet anywhere, especially like in Wisconsin here, I guess. The 30-30, the Winchester 30-30, the Marlin 30-30, right? Model 94. Everybody has one. Everyone has one, and everybody's first deer rifle was a damn 30-30. I still have mine. Got it when I was 15. My father bought it for me. Winchester, $99, right? That was the world's first assault weapon. It held 10, 11, whatever cartridges, and you could pound them out just by flipping that lever. Just bam, bam, bam. The world's first assault weapon, right? Trickled down from the military. After muzzle loaders and all that went away, the next was that. And then with the advent of, the late 1800s and World War I came all the bolt-action rifles, right? And even through World War II. And then World War II, you had what? Semi-automatic Garands and M1 carbines, right? So what trickled out of that? All the semi-auto guns. It's just the trickle down. I bet had the AR-15 come out instead of with plastic stocks, with wood, that it would have been accepted and you wouldn't even talk about this stuff. But since it was new and space age looking and black means bad, right? So, of course, we need to ban them. Guys, I need 5 seconds again. My nose, I'm sorry, this cold's killing me. Give me 2 seconds. All right. Sorry about that. I just sound so nasally I can't breathe. Anyhow, so in come the automatics, all of that stuff. And they want to ban them. And guys will say, well, they're not going to do that. They're not going to take away your guns. None of that. And I'll argue, and exactly what my friend 2A-EDU argued, is yes, they are. Yes, they are going to take them away. They've told us. They've said before they're going to work toward, what was they used to say, common sense gun control. And we need to come together and we need to reach across the aisle and all that bullshit, right? Well, the one thing they've done in this election cycle that they've never, ever done before was come straight out and say, yes, we are going to take them. You had Beto O'Douche come out and say he was going to take them, right? And then Biden's had several interviews where he said, if it's an assault weapon, a weapon of war, remember when that came out, weapon of war, and every news agency was repeating it. They get their notes sent out to them from the king, the dictator. The notes come out and they just repeat them. The state-owned media just repeats it over and over and over. And you can tell because the day you hear a new slogan, you'll hear it 70 times on all the other stations. And they repeat the same sentence or phrase or paragraph verbatim, every one of them. Weapon of war, weapon of war, weapon of war, weapon of war. And they talk. It's not a weapon of war anymore. Palmetto State Armory made sure of that. Do you know what his goal was as a company? He wanted to pump out so many AR-15s at a cheap enough price that everyone could afford one, and there would be so many, they would be so common that no ban on the planet would ever work. Well, he certainly achieved part of that. He's pumped out more ARs than Carter's got liver pills. They're everywhere, right? There's pistols, rifles, 7-inch, 10-inch, 20-inch, 9mm, 45, 450 Bushmaster, on and a Beowulf, 50 Beowulf, all these, any caliber under the sun, any length, any configuration, it's all there, right? They're in every household damn near. I don't know if I know anybody doesn't have an AR in their house, or 10 or 20 or 25. But it's so you accomplish that, right? Is it going to stop a ban? I don't know. And he says, well, nobody needs, Joe Biden himself, his exact statement is, nobody needs a weapon of war. Nobody needs a rifle or a bullet that when it goes inside you shatters and tears you up and everything. Nobody needs that. If it's made for killing men, no one needs it. Hello, Joe? Joe, you listening? That's what guns are made for. Killing people. Killing people. That's why you're there so afraid, and need all that protection. Yes, it's unfortunate. Does anyone want to? No. But that's why the Second Amendment was put out there. It wasn't to have guns to, hunt and all that. And he'll argue that the Second Amendment doesn't say that you can have, guns like this and bazookas and flamethrowers and all that. Well, yeah, Joe, it does. It says that. It says shall not be infringed. That means you can't tell me what type, kind, caliber, etc. of gun I need or want. Okay? It does say that in our Constitution. You should read it sometime. Secondly, he did this so perfect. You got to go over and see the video. Yeah, can you have a flamethrower? Yeah, absolutely you can. I get ads in my inbox every day for this company making flamethrowers. Go over to AK Jesus's channel, the AK guy, Brandon Herrera. Go over to his channel. He's got all kinds of flamethrower videos. They're awesome. What great way, Jake, imagine at your house getting rid of the burn pile and the weeds and stuff. Oh man, we could be gone. We'd have a blast. I'm going to get one. We got to do it. But yeah, you can own a flamethrower all you want. Guess what? You can own a bazooka. Did you know that? You can also own a 40 caliber grenade launcher. You can buy one. Any American citizen, as long as you are not a felon, can go buy one right now. The only caveat is it has to be registered and pay your tax stamp under the NFA, that nice little infringement that they made us. Machine guns were legal. Stop. Machine guns are still legal. I can own one. I can go buy one. No problem. Full automatic, whole 9 yards. But they came up with this just little thing out there called the NFA, the National Firearm Act, right? And that said that firearms, fully automatic, had to be put on a list. And I'm just kind of paraphrasing because it's involved and it's technical. And if you want, I can go over it one night. But anything after this year cannot be manufactured and sold to the public. So there's a set finite amount of machine guns. Only those that were on the list when it happened or were put on that list up until that date can be sold and transferred amongst citizens, and you pay a tax stamp and get it. So new manufactured machine guns, no, you cannot have. Now, do I think the NFA should go away? Absolutely. It should be gone yesterday. It never should have happened. There is no reason I should not be able to own a machine gun. None. I shoot them all the time because I go with friends of mine that are SOTs and FFLs. Jake shot one. Mark Krebs, he's an SOT manufacturer. He brought him over. We shot him. It's funny if you watch. I've got a video on there of Jake shooting a Glock in fully automatic, one of Krebs' guns, and the first words out of his mouth after he let the clipazine go was. I laugh and I point it out to everybody that watches it. He stops, the gun stops. He looks at the camera. He says, "Jesus, Murphy." And it's just hilarious. You got to see him do it. But there he goes. Jesus Murphy. That would be excellent. Flamethrower, sign me up. Yep. So yeah, you can own machine guns. You can own all that. But Mr. Biden doesn't know his Constitution, apparently, because it says shall not be infringed. So yeah, Joe, that means in plain English, no uncertain terms. I don't want to hear about your commas and your bullshit. It means what I have. Not to mention, think of the context that it's written in, guys. It's written in to protect you from a tyrannical government. Henceforth, you're fighting a government, right? Which means you would need the weapons that they have or better to protect you and fight off that tyrannical government. It would make no sense to have muzzle loaders or bolt action rifles against all that other stuff. And then you get the other side that says, well, you couldn't, what good is it anyways? You don't need them anyways. You can't take over a country because with just a semi-automatic gun, they've got nuclear arms and this and that. Tell that to the people of Afghanistan or the people of Vietnam. They've held off the two most major superpowers ever to exist in this world just fine with weapons like that. Just fine. No problem. So, I don't even like to argue 2A because to me, it's just moronic that people can see it any other way. It truly is. It's so simple, so matter of fact, so straight to the point that I don't know how anyone can confuse it. But that's just me. Common sense, rational thinking individual, right? That's the problem, probably, right? Let's see what the comments are saying. Imports, then features, followed by some bastardized. Yeah, kind of partial to Bolt 30-06. Yeah, nice Remington BDL, right? Nice wood and everything. And the old ones, the deep dark bluing, like a Remington 700 BDL or CDL. CDL is almost a little over the top, but my dad's got a BDL that's just stunning, gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let's see. Oh, Henry. Gotta have a Henry. Man, I haven't taken the Henrys out. I gotta do a video on those things. Why haven't I done one? I don't know. 45 long Colt. There, guys, if you don't have a Henry Golden Boy lever action, the brass receiver ones with the walnut, let me tell you something about those guns. You want to talk about, if you forget about guns and their uses and what you have them for or collecting. Last week I told you why I collect guns. And a lot of it is I see art in it, right? Well, on this planet than a Henry Golden Boy 22 lever action. When you work that action, it's like a Swiss watch. I kid you not. And the polish on the receiver, and the finish on the wood, down to every screw on that rifle is just impeccably stunning, beautiful, gorgeous, and perfect. I mean, just out of this world. Love those things. Love them. And the 45 long Colt, that's a ton of fun. That's a ton of fun. I got to get some cowboy action shooting done one of these days. I've never tried it. I want to try it. Let's see. I've had one 30-30. It was Savage 64A. Ended up doing trade with a buddy. Never got around to shooting it. Savage made a lever action. I didn't know that. Martin Coffee. Okay, ready. Good to see you, Martin. Pennsylvania. Cool, cool. So we're getting a little bit of reach here. We got 14 people in here. I think my record, I don't know what it was, 20 something maybe. I don't know. But that's how 2A EDU started out. And now look at them go, 600, 700 people. We'll get there one of these days, right? You know what makes a channel is the live chat on the side. If you guys are having fun and sharing information and talking about different guns and whatnot, that's what makes it fun. So you guys talk about what kind of deer rifles you have, that kind of thing. Jake just brought up 9x39. Wow. Yeah, that's all you got to say, right? Look at just one count, one little thing type, 9x39. And for those of you that aren't familiar with it, it is a Russian caliber. It's what their Spetsnaz use, their special forces. It's a necked up 7.62 by 39. They neck it up to 9, and it's just like a fat, overweight, sweaty kid in school packed into a AK cartridge. 7.62 by 39. Looks kind of funny and pudgy. Dude, when you shoot this thing into, let's say you shoot it into mud, Mark Krebs put it the best way. When it sounds like dropping a brick flat into mud, just thwack. It hit, and man, do these things, when they ricochet, oh my God, we'd shoot them at Jake's house and you hear them going, wang, and you just hear them going for a mile. It's like, oh shit, where'd that one go? But you talk about tear stuff up and hitting power, and it suppresses so incredibly well. Jake will tell you, all you hear is the bolt running. Got a video on that too. Check it out with me shooting it. Crazy how quiet. It's unbelievable. Just clack, clack. That's the bolt. That's all you hear. And it pounds like you wouldn't believe. Oh, man, what a round. You can 300 blackout, forget about it. This thing's incredible. Let's see. Got about 800 rounds on back order right now. Hopefully I'll get it by summer. Yeah, you better hope. So, they got all these troops out there and all this stuff going on. They're worried about people going to these capitals, and they say, you hear them talking. I don't know who it is, guys from FBI or one of the alphabet soup agencies talking to these newscasters, and they say, well, we hear internet chatter. It's out there. It's being talked about. Well, like any good red-blooded American gun guy, I'm on the internet constantly, right? And I'm on different channels, a lot of forums. I have one forum I love in particular. And what's funny is half the time I'm not reading the gun forums on there. I'm just reading the current events or funny stuff guys have posted, stuff like that. It's not even about guns. I've been on there so long that I have friends there, and we talk, and I've never met them. So I've met a couple, but, and there's some nut jobs there too, right? There's some truly things you got to wonder about, like, wow, holy moly, listen to this guy go. Isn't he afraid of being on some list or something? Or, well, I guess when you're that nuts, you're not worried about nothing. But then by the same token, you wonder, well, is it just a show? Is he just a keyboard commando, type of thing? Now, I've never heard of anything coming of any of it, but you go to some of these sites, and whether you're just looking for information or looking for a fix for a broken gun or something you can't figure out, or looking for a rare part, maybe, for putting an old gun together. When you go down that rabbit hole, it takes you places that, frankly, you probably shouldn't be sometimes. Some of these websites. I've on a couple, it can get pretty racist. It can get, and to the I don't know what you call it, to the owners, they try to do pretty much, are pretty damn good at squashing it immediately. But there's others out there that they're not. It's just a free for all, and there's just things that make you go, And you wonder, so is there internet chatter out there? Well, they say there is, but then again, I go to these channels from time to time, and frankly, I haven't been on them in a long time, but I went the other day and just nosed around a bit, thinking, I know, I go on this channel, I'll find something there. And I go in there and there's nothing. There's nobody talking. If anything, it's silent. It's eerily quiet about it. So to me, it sounds like a bunch of crap, to tell you the truth. I don't think there's much out there. Now, I don't know. Maybe there are crazy sites or white supremacist stuff or this or that, but I don't know where they are. I don't know what those channels are, so I can't tell you on that. But, there's a lot of 2A talk and political talk on the ones I do go to, and I'm not hearing any of it. So if I don't hear it, I don't know. The average person certainly isn't going to find it. That being said, I think my thought is that they put this out there and the same thing happens that happened last week. You're going to have some paid agitators there and maybe something goes wrong, right? And the first thing they're going to do is blame conservative people like us. They're going to, and the guns. And what's going to happen is, I hope to God I don't see this, that there's these paid agitators. They get people worked up, or one of them, a false flag operation, whatever, ends up, something bad happens, and bam, it's on. Gun control, gun confiscation, right off the bat. They are looking for a scapegoat. They are looking for one. I started watching Newsmax. Fox, guys, you can forget Fox. That's been gone for a long time. But even now, the few times I do stop over there, what a joke. What a joke. It's not conservative. You got maybe one person there that still has got any credibility. Tucker Carlson, maybe Hannity, but even him, I don't know. But I've been watching Newsmax, and they had video on right before this stream. They'll show it again tonight. New video came out, and there was a ink mark on it called by the New Yorker, the magazine, the New Yorker. And they were showing video of these guys in Congress. The guy with the horns up at the desk and everything. The cops are there. They're kicked back. Cops are just kicking back. They're having a friendly conversation. One guy's laying down, leaning against the counter there, and they're talking. There's police outside. They were letting them in, having conversations, staging the photos. The one, he asked the cop to take the picture for him. This is live video. It's not made up. It's not bullshit. It's right there for you to see. And on and on. There was so much. I had to get on the stream, so I stopped watching, but it was incredible. Total baloney. And the guy's filming. Let me ask you something. Who filmed all this video? I'll tell you who. The news crews they let in there before. It's a total bunch of shit. Total crock of shit. Anyhow, I hope that doesn't happen here and something goes wrong, and it could easily throw everything immediately off the cliff, right? It's just too damn dangerous to mess with. We don't want any of these things to happen. We want change, but we don't want to make it that way. I don't know, guys, because it's going so fast and furious. His radical agenda, the first 10 days, these presidential executive orders, when this stuff hits, I don't know if they underestimate some of these people out there, but I think you've got men and women who have come into and out of the military, all branches, during a wartime society for the last 20 years, right? Where we have been in a state of war, conflict, have been fighting on battlefronts for 20 years. How many soldiers have rotated in and out of that? A lot. Unlike maybe the, I don't know, late 80s, 90s, stuff like that, you didn't have that many people that have rotated through the military with obviously the best training in the world, right? have combat experience, are patriots 99.9%, right? And have the ability to own the equipment that makes things necessary or makes things possible, right? So I think they may underestimate some of these people, their abilities, the things they have, and what they may or may not want to do. It's a bit scary. Um, they love their country. They fought for their country, and I'm sure they don't want to see it overthrown, just like the rest of us. They don't want to go into this abyss that is socialism and everything else. So you wonder, maybe there are groups of those guys, and that's what they're hearing. Who would have they have the know-how. Let's face it, us civilians, what do we know about it? We like to shoot, and we like to do a 3-gun match here and there and pretend that we're Joe Tactical, right? But these guys are the real deal, right? I don't know. Maybe they estimate just how many of those people are out there. And I think, frankly, if the average citizen's that upset, then fought and died. Somebody that fought for that country may be just a little more emotional about it than the average person, right? I don't know. It's just a scary situation. So, leading up to all this, ammo disappeared, guns disappeared. There's not much left out there, right? And I did a video a month or so back talking about how to find it, right? And I was using those ways, those tactics to find ammo out there and having some pretty good success. I would just stop a few times a week at a few different places in my travels and check the shelves, and different times of day, different days of the week, stuff like that. And I was having some pretty good success finding stuff. I already have my emergency stash put away, but this was filling the gap and stuff I was using for the channel and things like that. And everywhere I went, I was able to find something, right? Well, now I had a week where there was nothing, right? And I thought, well, it's just this week. Then the next week hit, and you go in and where there might be a box of this or a box of that, or, I found 1,000 rounds of 223 or this or that. Nothing, guys. Nothing. Zero. Retail store wise, zero. Not even shotgun shells. Now, through all the other scares, the Obama scares, the Y2K stuff, the Clinton thing, there was always shotgun shells. There's not even birdshot. There's nothing. When I say nothing, nothing. Now, my online sources still have a few things I can get. I'm not buying anything right now. I don't need it. But if you need it, you better get out there tomorrow morning and hit the bricks and try and find it. Because I'm telling you, it's the worst I've ever seen. And they are cleaned out. There's nothing left. Nothing. Not the most obscure caliber. And it's not showing back up. You're not seeing even the occasional, here's a case they put out. That's not even there. It's gone. Guns, non-existent. There's nothing left. You can get them online. If you guys need something, you go online. There's some of the auction sites you can still find. I was on there today. Decent prices. Yeah, they're not what they were 6 months ago, but hey, if you need something, you don't have something, you're looking there and get something. If it's a want and you're trying to fill maybe a hole in a collect now because I can wait. If it's an imported weapon, yeah, you want a Yugo AK, you want a Tavor, you want what else? An Arsenal AK. I recommend you get it tomorrow because they're going away. Not only are they drying up from all of this, but they're going to be gone because he's going to rule against it. Poor conservative. Look at this. Popped in there. Good old New Hampshire. Let me jump in. I'm sorry. Let's see who's in here. We got 20 people in here. We hit 20. They closed all the parking garages, and there were no porta-johns for 600,000 Trump people at the Capitol. They had cops in the bushes to stop us from peeing. Can you imagine, guys? And that's true. They closed all they ordered the restaurants closed, the hotels, all that crap, because good, God-fearing, patriotic, conservative people were coming to town. Can you imagine? If you don't think the shadow banning and all the crap is happening, let me tell you something. It's insane. I'm no keyboard commando. I mean every word I say, and I have Discord friends on the almost are like family at this point. No, Joe, I didn't mean it like that. I just mean there's some of them out there that you listen to and you're like, wow, and you don't know if they're for real or they're not. Some are obvious. When they're so far over the top, they're just full of it. But, oh, no, I have no question that people here and other channels we all visit and see are truthful to their word. I'm a patriot through and through. I'm willing to die for my country. Always have been, always will. No problem putting it on the line. But we're not there yet. That's as bad as it may seem. We're not there yet. Might be close, but we're not there yet. Ryan's Outdoor Adventures. Do you have an opinion on the 3%ers? Seems like they get a bad rap from the press. I'd like to get some tactical training with like-minded folks. I've heard the term 3%er. I know what 1%er is from the motorcycle community because I was big into that, but 3%er, I don't know the exact definition of it. I'm assuming super patriot kind of deal, right? Do I have an opinion on it? On training, I think everybody should train. Everybody. And, let's face it, training by yourself, great. Self-defense, concealed carry, protecting your family, all that. That's all well and good. But, I mean, think about it. What do militias do? What does the National Guard do, right? They train as a group. You need to know how to work in a group. Let's say we were invaded by a foreign force, and the people were employing guerrilla tactics to help out our military, right? Just like they did in the Revolutionary War against British. They worked in groups, and you have to know how to work in group. If you don't know how to work in a group, you're not going to last very long. So there's definitely something to that. Oath keepers in your area. I've never run into any, well, I'm sure I have. Maybe I just don't know. They don't announce it, but I've never run into or been approached by or talked about that subject. It's an interesting subject. I knew an FFL near my place up north that was an oath keeper. And how I found out was I was buying some Makarov ammunition one day, and I'm up at the registered little place attached to his home. I look on the wall, and there's this framed thing, the oath, right? I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Hold on," and finished our transaction, and then came out from behind the counter, and he said, "I'm an oath keeper." And I asked him, "Well, what is it?" He said, "Well, it's this, this, and this," and he told me. And we got kind of cut off. There were some other people there, so he never finished up. I just got the real basic gist. But it's probably something I should research a little, and something we should probably have as a topic here one night. Might be interesting. So I've heard of them. I don't know exactly what it is, so I don't want to speak out of turn. Sounds like Ryan's Outdoor Adventure knows a little bit about it. Maybe he cares to comment in here. I don't know if there's any oath keepers in my area here specifically. But I would love the chance to train with people or a group. I think that would be great. It'd be a ton of fun. It'd be interesting. It'd be helpful, educational. And the more training you got, guys, the more confidence you have, and the better you feel and the less you fear, right? That's the bottom line. I know Michigan, God, for the guys in Michigan, Michigan is like the world headquarters for organizations like that and Oath Keepers and different militias and all that kind of stuff. And, some people get all weirded out or like it's some taboo word, militia. They see them as these whack jobs or something. But I couldn't tell you other than the few people I know that have a little bit to do with them. They're normal, everyday people. They're not whack jobs. The ones they show on the news and stuff, those are the moronic stuff or how they want to portray them. But boy, if you're in Michigan, there's certainly the opportunity there. Here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, our Sportsman Warehouse has a good selection of firearms, just not much ammo. Isn't Sportsman's Warehouse the place that was jacking the prices way up and gouging, or no? Is that a different one? I know they got a big store there. There's another one too. I've seen that. They're like a Bass Pro Shop, huge, but they have much fewer of them. And I saw one somewhere between here and Georgia. My travels, I don't know. Jake Null, Red Dawn. I watched that the other night. Man, that's an awesome movie. So much fun. I don't like. Let's hear a vote for what Red Dawn you like. The first one, the original with Patrick Swayze, or the second one. I bet you can guess which one I like, but I'm going to hold off saying until we get a few people in here. But let's just say if you answer one of them, yeah, you're nuts. You're insane. It doesn't matter. Brastard 762's in here. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming over. I appreciate it. Arsenal AKs from Bulgaria might go. No, if they cancel imports, if he has an executive order on imports, Arsenal will be gone. It is, I just ordered one because I need one more Sam to finish my collection, and I'm done. And I ordered it yesterday. Not yesterday. Saturday. Let's see. I'm not in Rockford anymore, poor conservative. You have an Oath Keepers chapter. I'm close, just over the border. Oh, yeah, cheaper than dirt. You're right, bastards. Cheaper than dirt. What a joke, huh? Let's see. It's all talk. If someone has a non-ATF approved weapon, patriots will not lay their lives on the line to protect said person from the government. A non-ATF. Oh, no, they won't. You're right. Right now, in this state of affairs, because people think that there's other outlets right now. There's, legal outlets and, working with the organizations. Now, I get, guys, trust me, I get it. It's damn near impossible, but who knows? Certainly, common sense, right? Working together. You give a little, I give a little. Well, we've given and we've given and we've given. Here we go. Here goes the connection. And you get nothing back, right? So you try and work things out, or our leaders do, right? Our representatives, and they vote on these bills and stuff like that. It's probably buffering real hard right now, but it just stopped. If I change the subject real quick, it seems to go away. God, that pisses me off when that happens. Anyhow, maybe it's not even. It could just be my internet. Who knows? But I don't know. It just seems to happen when I start talking about that stuff. But they've taken and taken, and we've got nothing in return. If it's a compromise and I'm giving, you give, right? What have we gotten? We've gotten nothing. And people are done. People are done giving. There is no more to give on the Second Amendment. We're done. If anything, it's time to reverse course. There's no giving anymore, period. And I think that's how 99.9% of us feel. There's no more to give. Where do you go from there when they don't want to compromise? They don't. They talk about, the first thing we talked about Joe Biden and what he said, that if it's a weapon of war, I'm taking it, right? Well, let me tell you something. Here's fact. And most of you guys probably know this, but hopefully there's some in here that haven't heard it and they can spread the word. But did you know that rifles in general, not ARs, just rifles in general, they account for less than 1% of the deaths in America, the firearm deaths in America. And there's a couple things we got to say about that. First of all, if you take the suicides out of firearm deaths, it for almost, I think, 70% of all the firearm deaths out there. Then there's accidental discharges, police shootings, justifiable stuff like that. You drop the number way down to begin with. But take 1% of those overall. Before we take out what's already bullshit, take out 1%, right? Less than 1% of rifles. That's nothing. Now, if you're talking AR-15, AR-15s account for such a tiny portion of that 1%, something like 0.0000621, something like that. So small that on the FBI's chart, there's just an asterisk. There's no number. There's not a large enough statistic to even count. So why are they going after that rifle in particular, right? That and the AK-47, even less with AK-47s, right? So the two rifles that you always hear about that are in the news and gun control news constantly, AR-15, AK-47, why do you hear about them so much? Every time, all the time. Why? Why do they want to take those away when they account for such a small number of firearm deaths that you can't even count them? Why? I'll tell you why. You know why? Because those are the weapons that it takes to get business done, right? To get rid of tyranny. That's why. If you truly want to go after gun control and you want to really affect some change, save the children, right? Keep your streets safe, what do? You get rid of handguns. That's what you get rid of. That's what account for 99.99999% of shootings. Period. End of story. So why would they be going after that? You know why. You know exactly why. And that's why you have to call these people out on it. An assault weapon ban makes no sense. We all know the stupid crap they did last time. Can't have a bayonet lug. Why? Because, neighborhood stabbings with bayonets were up. What? Yeah, a lot of people bayoing each other, right, on street corners. It's just retarded. It has nothing to do with firearms, has nothing to do with deaths. It has nothing to do with protecting the people, the elderly, the children. Has nothing to do with any of that. Has to do with the people having the ability to fight off tyranny. That's what it has to do with. They're scared. They're scared. And they should be, frankly. They should be, right? Why should I, I think I went through this a couple of weeks ago, but we talk about maybe you're talking to your mother, your grandmother or something, and you're talking about this kind of stuff, and they go, shh, you shouldn't talk so loud about that, right? My wife had a grandmother like that who grew up under Nazi control in Germany during World War II, right? And had the Gestapo come into her apartment and search it. They went through that, literally live and in color all the time, lived with it. Neighbors telling on neighbors, all that stuff. To the day she died in her 90s, when she would talk about anything having to do with the government, she would whisper. And I'd tell her, I said, why, Grandma, why are you whispering? Oh, I don't know. It's just hard. That's how afraid they were. That's how afraid they were. It's unreal. And those times, guys, that's what we have to avoid. This political correctness, right? political correctness is where this ban of free speech began. When you want to have political correctness, that's just another way of controlling speech. Why is it okay that they speak about, meaning the other side, they speak about anything they want, but us nice, polite conservatives, we can't do that type of thing, right? Why? Because we're polite. We're polite. It's not good in mixed company, right? If that's the way you feel and will continue to feel, then we've lost. Because I'm telling you right now, political correctness needs to go out the window immediately. Yesterday, gone. No longer can you sit back and be that polite person. You need to be out there every day, starting tomorrow morning, telling everyone you come into contact with, speaking your mind, speaking your beliefs, and spreading those beliefs. Talk to the cashier, talk to the waitress, talk to whoever you come into contact with. Tell them, can you believe what these guys are doing? And give them the reasons why you're against it. Have smart conversation, intelligent conversation. I'm not telling you to get in somebody's face or anything like that. I'm just telling you, don't be afraid to speak your mind, your thoughts, and your beliefs, because they aren't. And that is why this change has happened so radically quick, because they've silenced us. They've made it embarrassing to speak your mind. I'm not saying you guys are, just saying in general. I see it. I see it with with family members. You can't afford to be like that anymore, guys. You have to get out, speak your mind, let others know. You just might be surprised how many are on your side. People you never thought would be. I've had it happen a few times where I'm shocked. I'm like, wow. Had I just walked down by, I would have pegged that guy as a stone cold liberal, And, most times when I do that, I can just look at someone and tell, am I stereotyping? Yeah, probably. Am I somehow being, I guess that's not a race, but am I being prejudiced somehow? Yeah, probably. How do stereotypes start, guys? How? The stereotypes come from truths, right? Or there wouldn't be such a thing. And nobody's saying to be mean to that person, to exclude them, but it's time to open your mouth and tell people why you think that way. Back it with truth, with evidence, with whatever, but you need to do that. You need to do that. We need to stop it now. All right. It's basically a paramilitary group. Militia don't have to be prior military, that are preppers and trained as groups, have meetings, etc. Every video online portrays them as a bunch of idiots in the woods. Yeah, and those are the ones we see too. I've seen them a ton of times. That's what they portray, right? They portray them as idiots. I think 60 Minutes or somebody that years ago did one. It's still floating around out there. Shows these guys, they're drinking, partying up a storm, and then they get up late and they don't show up for their training. And they show it like that. I'm trying to get these damn comments in line here. I wish. Let's see. Second Red Dawn has a Tech 9 with a magical switch that changes rate of fire like an airsoft gun. Come on, let's see. You steaming in the UK? I'm streaming in the UK. Somebody's here from the UK? Well, that's cool. Oh, here. I live in the UK, so don't know much about guns. Yeah, you're right. You don't. And that's, I'm sorry for that. You must be younger then, because, I know the UK hasn't had guns for a while, but what they've done to you guys over there is terrible. And it's funny when people drop in the different streams or channels from the UK, from Australia to Canada, from Canada, they all say, first thing they say is, guys, you are the last hope of freedom in this world. Don't let happen to you what we allowed to happen to us. They'll tell you straight out. And when you don't have guns, what do they use next? They're using knives over there. Now they want to ban knives. I don't know if it's certain types of knives or what, but stabbings have increased so much in the UK that they want to, yeah. What are you going to ban? Scissors, hammers, sticks, firewood? What? It's just ridiculous. Come on, no better time or place to learn. I don't know what that was about. I'm not going back any further because my comments go nuts and I can't read them. Exactly. We need to take our rights back. You do. It's time to take on the rights. We want America back. A matchlock is a weapon of war. Yeah, it is. It was, right? So is a Brown Bess. So is a Kentucky long rifle. They're all weapons of war. So is the M1 Garand. Can I still have that? You know, the greatest weapon in the world, the one that our greatest generation ever led this country to victory over the most evil, vile leader on the planet. Yeah, can't have that one either. It's a shame. It's a shame that, you know what? I thought about this the other day. Think about the timing of all this and how they've done it and are doing it. But they certainly couldn't do it while that greatest generation was alive, right? Because they'd see it. They'd recognize it. They'd smell it. My grandfather, he is rolling over. Both my grandfathers are rolling over in their grave right now. They fought for this country in World War II. My one grandfather was on the first boat into Tokyo Harbor. He was on a minesweeper. So, of course, minesweepers are the first ones in, right? He was the first boat into Tokyo Harbor. And my other grandfather was a pilot, fighter pilot over there. Trained. When he came back, he flew float planes then after the war off Navy Pier. Did sightseeing tours, stuff like that. But both of them, I got pictures from the Chicago Tribune of my father sitting on a bench seat in a train car, sleeping, leaning against my grandfather. My grandfather's going off to war. And they show a picture of my dad sleeping with them, and they say something about it, you know. Yeah, they'd be a little upset right now. And they couldn't have done it while those people were alive. Because they saw it live and in color and what happened and how it happened and what it looks like. And that's what you're seeing now, guys. It's what you're seeing. So they wait till those people are gone and, they think it's easy pickings. What do they say? 2 generations of school kids, and they've got their minds. Yeah, that's happened. Not so much out in the sticks in the schools, but certainly in the cities. I saw that breast hard. 22 long rifle is a round used in modern combat. SCAR 17762, U.S. Marine Corps. Outstanding rifle. I want a Belgian-made one so bad. And there's still, I can find a few here and there, but most are the American-made ones. Now, are they any different, better, or worse? No, probably not. But the Belgian-made ones are, in my opinion, are always going to be worth a little more. And I was this close to getting one, and something else popped up, and I spent the money on that. And it's hard to get that much tucked away, right, to buy one of those. They're not cheap, but I got to have one for some reason. Just got to have it one of these days. But I probably won't get to it now. This assault weapon ban is going to hit, guys. It's not. There's no stopping it. There's no stopping it. He's going to sign that executive order, and that's that. So get ready for it. I'm telling you right now. I am holding out no hope for it not hitting. It's going to hit. Is it constitutional? No, absolutely not. It's not. They know it's not. But that's not going to stop them. And it's not going to stop them from making them illegal and for whatever friggin' scam they pull, whether it's a turn-in, a buyback, a confiscation, or whatever, they're going to go away. Or there's going to be a lot of people digging holes in the woods somewhere, right? And a big, ginormous run on 6-inch PC, right? But it's not going to stop it. They're gone. They are gone. And it'll work its way to the Supreme Court. Yes, they'll rule it unconstitutional. 15 years from now, 10 years, 12 years. By then, will I even be alive then at my age? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. All them guns you buried in the ground, they'll be turned to rust by then. And if in fact that's the way you go, like the old, oh, I lost them in a boating accident or bury them. What good are they then, guys? What good are they? You lost it. Yeah, they're hidden. You can't use it. They're not ready at a moment's notice. If you get caught with them, you're going to jail. It's done. They won. They won when that happens. All three branches of government. At what point are you going to realize they won? Say all you want, fight all you want. That assault weapon ban is hitting. Promise you. Scary. It's scary, guys. It's happened. They control it all. Unless something changes. Oh, there goes my light. Lost my light finally. Unless something changes, I don't know what it'll be. It would have to be drastic, as far as legally stopping it. I don't know. Maybe, anybody know, can the Supreme Court step in a case that blatant where they could move it along quicker? I don't know. I'm not a legal scholar, trust me, far from it. Let's see. I agree, Brastard. I love my little Marlin. It could take most things. Marlin makes a great friggin' gun. All their stuff. It could be argued that the Marlin lever action is actually a better rifle than the Winchester. Let's see. There's a video of weapons captured from a jihadi assault team that got killed by Syrian army, and 180 22 long rifle subgun was one. Really? No kidding. Morgan, I'm keeping my bayonet lug. It beats ammo shortage. My elderly dad loves my AR, even if he doesn't know how it works yet. 22 long rifle suppressed used to be Israeli military still. They were probably though, right? Because a 22 supersonic round will make just as much noise, or damn near as much. Government must be afraid of us because they are running like they are scared. You can talk about all this crap, but the only time anything's released as far as, all this crap about insurrection and, a second civil war, that kind of thing, none of it happens without the military. So it would have to start there. That's the only thing. It's kind of cool, though, that they're worried about the National Guard, wouldn't you say? Very cool. They are interviewing each. Did you hear that? They're interviewing each and every National Guard soldier that is there. The FBI is. They're afraid of an inside hit. They truly are. That's amazing, actually. I find that amazing. Don't you think you'd think, hey, what the hell did I do so wrong that one of my own groups might come after me? Wouldn't you think that might be a pause for thought? I don't know. It amazes me. Let's see. It jumped on me again. KMI Building. What's up, KMI Building? Good to see you here. Thanks for stopping by. ARs, AKs, etc. are the last class of weapons most effective to fight government that they have not banned yet. They do the rest: machine guns, grenades, mortars, rockets. Yep. And you don't have to worry about that stuff. Talked to a friend that lived through, fought in the Serbian conflict, civil war over there. And he said it was amazing that after it kicked off, how quick all that stuff showed up everywhere. Like you could pick it up on the street corners, grenades, all that stuff. It all showed up. And who's it brought by? It's brought by the military. It's brought by whatever faction, once things settle into two sides, I guess. Those that have the things that explode like artillery rule the battlefield. Yeah, they do. But keep in mind, look at Vietnam, look at Afghanistan. They've fought off the world's two superpowers forever and been pretty damn successful at it. And yes, they did have stuff, but like I said, that stuff comes later. It's a guerrilla warfare thing. It's a hit and run type of thing is how it starts. It's hard to speak your mind with family and don't want to create a scene. My stepdad was over today and immediately started in with razzing me about Trump. I shut it down. It was my daughter's 5th birthday. Yeah. It's a shame to say that you shouldn't involve family, you shouldn't involve friends, but guys, if they're not on your side, you draw the line somewhere. If in this case, if they're that backwards, I'd argue you don't need them in your life. I would. List 2, George Carlin. What? Busted cheeks. What's list 2, George Carlin? My father in World War II shot in the ass and stabbed in the neck and still came back. Awesome. My, you know what's funny? It's not funny, but my family, wife's family, were at the field fighting against each other. I had my grandfathers fighting for the U.S. and my wife's grandparents fought for the German army. I have pictures of him. He was killed. Her grandfather was killed crossing the river into or out of Poland. It couldn't have been the first attack. Germany first attacked Poland, was their first country they went into. And he wasn't killed then because he lived further than that into the war. But I think maybe it was crossing Poland into Russia, maybe something like that. It's funny, so the grandfather died, my wife's father's father. But his brother, and this was kind of commonplace back then, the brother would step in if there was a wife involved that was married to a deceased, and they would step in and kind of take care of the family, and in a lot of cases marry that. And that's exactly what happened. And so now, I guess it'd be my wife's uncle ended up marrying her grandmother, and she grew up knowing him as grandpa, and he fought in the war too. He was hit. He had shrapnel all over him from a grenade going off, messed up his hand pretty bad, but he survived the war, obviously, and met her grandmother, and they were married, and they came here to the U.S., and we're an American family, an all-American family, as American as you get. And at one time, we were fighting each other. I find that kind of amazing. I tease my wife all the time. I say, yeah, you and your Nazi family. No, I'm just kidding. But it is kind of funny. Let's see. Get some of that Build Back Better pie. If some of these things are jokes, guys, I sound like an idiot because I don't know some of this newer shit. But anyhow, crossbow's another option. You guys must be having another conversation I'm missing. They won with the NFA and solidified the win with the GCA. Yes, you are spot on. Spot on, Brastard. Joe Morgan, that's what I was talking about. Rock, they were terrified of the guard. Yep. KMI, lots of relatives lost in Poland. Yep. Yep. I'm buying mags like chocolate bars right now, telling everybody to do the same. Absolutely. When the ammo ran out and my finding ammo mission, it was like a game for me. I was enjoying it, finding ammo and getting stuff when other people couldn't find it. Then I went to the mags, and I've been buying PMags like crazy. It's amazing when you really start to look. You think, oh, I got so much of this or so much of that, and all of a sudden you go, oh, no, I don't, when you really look. So I was way short on AR mags because of my AK addiction. So I had a lot of catching up to do there, but I filled that in pretty good. Then I was buying mags for the for my, well, it's over here, I can't show you, sorry, but for my little CZs, the little Evo Scorpions. Everything from Manicore mags to the P mags work pretty good in those things. They're really nice, and they're 35 rounds. And Farm and Fleet, ta-da, ton of them. Amazing. So I was buying those. Anytime I saw some, I even got some Mission First Tactical mags. Didn't even know they were making them. And I saw them on the shelf one day, and I love their stocks. I like their, the one, what is it called? The Minimalist. I use that on a lot of stuff. Got that on my VR80 shotgun. I got them on a couple of Arsenal AKs. Got them on ARs. I really like them. I like their core stock I use on my NPAP. Nice stuff, really nice. And they make new holsters now. Inside the waistband Kydex holster for my little Kimber Micro 9. Nice holster. Most comfortable holster. I don't even know that gun's there. Anyhow, I see the mags, and I bought a few, and I got them home, and man, are they nice, really nice. As nice as P-Mags or better. And I went back and I had some more, and I look, and they were slightly different. Now they had the older gen. So the newer gen is really nice. The older gen, I guess they're okay, but nothing as nice as the second gen. So, and then 308 mags for my AR-10. Still a little short on those. I got 20s and 25s. I don't mind the 20 rounders. I'd take either or 20 or 25. They're both interchangeable to me. The extra 5 is not that big a deal, but I've got both. And I've got enough for a loadout, but definitely want some more of those. And then you get to thinking, well, I could use AK mags too. You can always use more. Just buy mags. If you see them, buy them. I'll tell you this, if we somehow manage to avoid an outright taking of all this stuff, you'll be happy you have them because it'll be worth their weight in gold. You know what you guys are paying for pre-ban AKs and different stuff right now? Yeah. Well, it's all going to be pre-ban pretty soon. So imagine what prices are going to do. It's amazing, too, because there's still stuff out there. There's still guns out there, a lot of them. Yeah, you're going to pay a little more, but not a ton more for some of the basic stuff. And you can go on most of the companies' websites and still find some stuff. Palmetto's got a ton. Not a ton, but they're enough. If you had to get some stuff. If you're looking for specific stuff, nah. Aero Precision, forget it. Sold out, everything. And that, people think of Aero Precision as kind of budget stuff. I don't consider that budget at all. They make some really, really nice stuff. Matter of fact, I would argue it's right up there with a ton of the better manufacturers, stuff that you consider top of the line. And the funny thing is they are the ones that make it a lot of times for them. Aero produces stuff for just about every big name you know. And it's no different. It's all the same stuff. That Aero M4E1 receivers, top of the line. Those things are magnificent. I build everything out of those things. Everything. Unless I'm cloning something, that's what I use. They are never, of all of the tons and tons I have had, I've never had a single issue with an upper or lower parts kit, a barrel, bolt carrier group, nothing. Not one single problem. They're awesome. Jake Null, I'm going to start building cannons. It's legal to do that. Yeah. Where was I? There was an ad. No, there was an article. You've all seen Popular Mechanics, the magazine, right? I forget. I read it in a forum somewhere, and the guy showed the magazine. It was like 1950, late 50s, early 60s. and they had design plans and everything for building they called it a backyard mortar. They showed that with wheels, a cart, the whole 9 yards, what angle to put for trajectory and all of that stuff. And I forget what they were shooting out of it. But it was a full-on friggin' mortar. And they had the plans in it. That just shows how much our society's changed and how people view things has changed. That's what, 40 years ago, 50 years ago? It doesn't seem that long, guys. I'm in my 50s, and if I close my eyes before I wake up in the morning, I have this mind's eye view that I'm about 28 to 30, somewhere in there. So time kind of stops. I'm like, the 60s, well, the 70s that I grew up in the 80s is yesterday, and the 50s and 60s, that's 10 years ago to me, But yeah, they had the whole thing. Dimensions, what you needed, material lists, the whole thing. In Popular Mechanics magazine. That's how much things have changed. I tell you guys the story about I used to bring my shotgun to school, put it in my locker all day, and go hunting after school with the hunting and fishing club. Nobody thought anything of me walking in the front door with a shotgun. I'd walk right past the headmaster and the dean. Hey, how you doing? With 870 in my hand. Nobody said anything. That's how things have changed. And how has it changed? Because they control. The left controls that agenda. Always have, always will. And now we have a president that quite possibly, if the allegations are true, be completely owned by the Chinese government. We all know that, right? We know the answer to that question. Completely compromised. Completely. What does that mean for the average citizen? That's pretty goddamn scary. Let's see. Yeah, I've got 14 mags right now for one gun. Doing good. I'm not in a good place with money. I'm trying my damnedest to get what I need. Joe, life goes in cycles. I'll tell you, at my age, there's times I've been so broke I can't pay attention. And other times I'm doing so well, I thank my lucky stars. But it comes and goes. It comes and goes, at least for me. And I know those days, man. But at times like this, you need to do everything in your power to scrape everything you can together. I don't care if you got to go, grab the pickup and run alleys looking for metal or something. There's always a way to make money and to get a little extra. If you were going to dig in, not saying you don't work hard, I'm just saying if you were going to dig in even harder, you're running at 200%, maybe you need to run at 400. Now's the time to do it, because if you don't, it's going to be too late and you're going to need it. You're going to need it. So do everything you can, bud. You'd be surprised, too. There's a lot of good people out there that'll help you out, too. You just got to find them. Reach out. It's not, don't be embarrassed either. Let's see. There is no future for my generation. I'm one, and the fun part is over. I wouldn't say that. Never give up hope, man. I know I want my grandkids to know how fun it was back in the day. We didn't think nothing, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds go out in the woods with a 22 and shoot. Today, oh, the horror. You got to hurt your parents and say, well, that'll teach them, right? What's that? I saw a comedian did a joke about every family had a 200-pound TV balancing on a rickety old TV tray next to the dinner table, right? One little bump and it'd fall over, and the thing's so big it'd kill the kid, right? So the kid's yanking on the cord. Here comes, bam, hits him on the head, flattens him, and the dad says, he'll learn. That'll teach him. That's about it, right? Not today. I don't know what happened to my world. I really don't. Chances are they're forged in Freeport. Jake's right. What's the name of that? Wait, don't tell me, Jake. Damn it. Anchor Hocking, right? Or Anchor. I think Anchor Hocking is a division of it, but Anchor out in Freeport, Illinois, they do all the forgings. Anchor Hocking, you probably heard from Kitchenware. Well, they forge the basic forgings for all the AR receivers. Jake worked there at one point. And didn't you say, Jake, there'd be dumpsters full of the raw forgings that they weren't good or had a mistake or a flaw, and there were dumpsters full of them? You could go out there and grab 20 friggin' 100% forgings. Well, they make a ton of them there that then supply all the different AR makers out there. And they're made right in Freeport, Illinois. Let's see. I love my older DPMS AR-15A2 carbine. It's my favorite gun. I've had it. Even has the 800 setting. And cool. Yep. Nothing wrong with DPMS rifles, especially the early ones. I meant 31, not one keyboard needs cleaning. That's okay. Joe Morgan, I'm going to give it one last push. Going to go for spare parts. Yep. You know what? 2AEDU talked about spare parts. Get yourself an OOPS kit. Or if you got a dealer around that does a lot of building, you know, when you buy that stuff in bulk, like detents, you can get a bag of 100 detents for $2 when you buy in bulk. Look online for places that sell it in bulk like that. The springs and all trigger springs, you can buy it all in bulk, and you got it. But a couple OOPS kits and you're good to go. See a few triggers, buy some triggers. Barrels. My next video, I will give, or if anybody wants to email me or whatever, I'll give you the address for a place that's still got some barrels at good prices. They've got good barrels, they've got mediocre barrels, and they've got entry-level barrels. Some as cheap as $67 for a shorty, but no more than 180. And they're name brand and good stuff. And if you can't afford whole rifles right now, I buy uppers and lowers and barrels and bolt carriers. Bolt carriers are a bit hard to find right now. But I got one today. I got two, actually, Toolcraft for $130 each. Think about that. That's a steal at this day and age. Anchor Harvey, that's what it's called. Anchor Harvey. And they produce the forgings that they then machine the uppers and lowers out of. And yeah, absolutely were, meaning, yeah, they were dumpsters full of them. And they were probably perfectly good to go, right, Jake? You could, if you had the ability to machine them, they were perfectly good. Jake, uppers and lowers all day long. Oh yeah, and Trijicon scopes. They made the housings for the Trijicon ACOGs there. So, man, you need to go back to work there, Jake. Need to do some parts acquisitions. Find mags that'll run, and they do not all have to be newest plastic. Yeah, guys, mags are mags. One thing I learned, all that bullshit goes out the window. Yeah, what are those junk mags? Junk AR mags, plastic. You guys have seen them in some of my videos and commented on them. Oh, you got those things? Like, people laugh at them. I got them during the Obama scare at a little joint. That was Illinois back then, Big R or something. And they had them on sale for $10 back then. Now you can get them for like $6. The name will come to me. But talk about, everybody said, junk, total junk. They fall apart, bullets flying everywhere, coming out of the mags. I use them at the range all the time, every time. I have yet to so much as break a feed lip on one. I just now figured out how to take them apart because they're weird mags. And they're perfect. They work. Just buy mags. You know, everybody laughs at Pro Mag, right? Pro Mag, junk, friggin' junk. Well, that's the one mag I've never owned because they had such a bad rep. But the other day they had Pro Mags out, and through the bag I could feel them. They felt as good as anything else. Now, I'm sure there's experiences that they're bad, but if you've truly, truly ever had a Pro Mag not work or malfunction consistently, let me know here in the comments, because I've never seen one personally. I don't know. People used to laugh at Tapco's, Tapco AK mags. I've used Tapco's. The oldest Tapco mag I had, my oldest mag is a Tapco mag I've had since the day I got into guns. And it works to this day. It feeds always. It never misfeeds. It runs perfect, and they don't wear out. You don't want your Tapco mags? Send them to me. Send them. I'll take them. Who gives a crap what people think? It's what works. They work. Promise you they work. Just get them. Uppers, lowers all day long. I tell my daughters about mini bikes. Oh man, now you're in my space. Mini bikes we used to build in the 70s in cars with no air and roll up windows, and she laughs. Mini bikes. Remember the old mini bike frames and the brake? You had the brake lever on them, and it had a metal plate that when you hit the brake, the plate came up and hit the rear tire on the flat part of it to slow it down. That was your brake. Steel on rubber. And you took apart your parents' old lawnmower and tossed the engine on the thing, and down the street you'd go, man, with chopper, and then you'd weld a chopper on it and everything. Oh man, then my friends started getting real mini bikes, right? I was so jealous, but my dad wouldn't get me one. We didn't. I don't know. I wanted a CT70 or a Honda Z50 so bad, and we finally got them. And oh man, I was in heaven. I think we slept in the garage with them that night. And we'd ride those things. The minute my parents would leave the house, we'd found the keys, and we'd be out all day. I tell my kids a story. I'd have $1 on me, $1, and I could fill my CT70 with gas, with Shell. Back then they called it ethyl instead of premium. I'd fill it with man, I'm old. I know you guys are going, look at this friggin' FUD, what do you call us? Boomers. I'm not a boomer. I'm just a little too young to be a boomer, but look at this boomer talking about his dollar days. Yeah. Well, I'd get a tank of gas in my CT70 and have 65 cents left over for a pack of smokes. 65 cents for a pack of cigarettes and 35 cents to fill my mini bike up with gas. And I'd head for the woods. And this is in Chicago. If any of you guys are from the Chicago area and you know where the driver's license center is on Elston Avenue, there's forest preserve behind there. We'd go in there and ride all day till the sun went down. And we'd stop for lunch, and you could go out to the 7-Eleven off Elston Avenue. And on the way, we'd look for pop bottles for the 10-cent return so we could get something for lunch at 7-Eleven. So for $1, I'd go out all day long and ride and ride and ride and ride and ride. Yeah, mini bikes. Damn. Kids today don't know that crap. They really don't. And eventually we got into racing and everything. And that's why we spent the last 15 years racing all over the country. I'm thinking a bulk carrier group and a lower kit for the parts maybe. Yep, that's exactly what I would do. If you can't afford the bulk carrier group, get a couple firing pins and a ring kit. Let's see. Your run and dump military metal mags may do you and are damn cheap. Yes, absolutely. The aluminum military mags. Surplus store. The surplus store by me even has them. Yeah, no, they have the tilting followers, but if you take your time and load them right, they'll be just fine. You make do with what you can. Look at these countries out there and this stuff. If you guys saw what these countries fight with, you'd shit yourself. Slings made out of string, and it's unbelievable. And yet they get out there every day, but we seem to need all this tactical crap. When it comes down to it, You don't need what you think you need. Picked up an Alex Pro SP4 M16 BCG. Only one they had left had a different coating on it. Have an arrow lower and a stag upper right now. That's okay. It's a mutant, but it works. I have a Pro Mag for a Marlin. It's great. Yeah, see? Tapco was rad. I assume still are. Tapco is out of business, my man. Do you believe that? Somebody bought the name. I don't know if they're still going to be making stuff, but yeah, you got a collector's item now. People used to make fun of the SKS stocks. I got a video where I took, when I first got my SKS, I had to put it in that, right? And then I'm looking at it, and I get into milsurps and all that. And I did a video of putting it back in its other stock. But that stock and the magazines for them and everything, they work really well, and they're tough as nails. I kept the setup. Who knows? Maybe one day you want to use it or it's collectible, but I got one. That's, the Gucci guys all want to tell you how shitty all this stuff is, but it's not. 20 bikes with banana seats. Yep. Stingrays, Murrays. I had a Murray, Eliminator. Now those bikes are worth big money. The crates, my neighbor between me and all my neighbors, we had an orange crate, apple crate, lemon peeler. The green one was called a lime something. Apple crate was my favorite. And they had the stick shifts and everything. And some even had Springer front ends. Always loved the Springer. That's why my Harley is a Springer. Heritage Springer. Love, love, love my Harley. I wish I had that bike still. It's the one bike I always regret selling. Good old days, right, Rock? Yeah, it is. Regular gas was leaded. You damn straight it was. And remember when they first got rid of it and they made a little plastic thing you could put in your tank and still fit the leaded nozzle in there? Had to. I was driving Trans Ams back then. Things would ping like a bitch. Black Label bottle was 2 cents. Yeah. Yeah, okay. They're going to think we're old, man. Everybody's going to leave. See, I'm down to 12 people watching this. Christ's sake. Make me talk about this old shit. No, I'm kidding. Buds and I still run old Colt 20 rounds. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a SP1 with less than 100 rounds through it with the original 20 rounders. Matter of fact, I can show those. I should grab them. They were like grayish silver. They weren't like today's black mags, but they work just fine. Yeah, I got an SP1 serial number under 10,000. One of the most original Colts you'll ever find. Think about that. A Colt AR under 10,000 serial number. Think about how many have been produced. Crazy. I was there when I went with my dad when he bought it. Anyhow, so stuff you need. If there's a gun you want to finish your collection, get out there this week and find it. This week. If there's a gun you need, protection, something, you need to get it now. If you need spare parts, get your mags, get everything dialed locked in. I would even make sure, if you're for sure at a minimum, I know a lot of us got a lot of stuff, but there's going to be that one rifle, right? Your main rifle. Make sure that thing is squared away. Make sure you got a sling. You can't own it. There's so many guys I see. And here's my rifle. Here's my fighting rifle. And they don't have a sling. They're all worried about the rifle, the mags of this. They don't have a sling. You go in the Army, guys, first thing they're going to show you is how to use a sling and how to shoot with a sling. Get a sling. You can't carry it anywhere. Can't free your hands up. Can't do anything without a good sling. Get your mags. Get a way to carry your mags. All that stuff. Squared away. Get your kit together. Okay? You need kit. That's what you need. Are you going to use it? Hopefully not. Are you going to use it one way or another? You should have it. Your sidearm, make sure you got stuff for that. Everything's good to go. And yeah, that's all. Are we there yet? I don't think so. Will cooler heads prevail? I think so. Will we get what we want? I don't know. It's tough, guys. We put ourselves in this situation. I'm just hoping that maybe, like, everybody was afraid with Obama that he was going to pass an assault weapon ban, and he never did, never even tried. Now, granted, he didn't have a Senate, so they didn't. But who knows? Maybe they feel enough pressure. They feel the heat. They know how upset the people are, and maybe they back off on it. I think it'd be smart if they did. So hopefully keep your fingers crossed, and we'll go from there. That's all. Ammo, if it's out there, guys, grab it. If it's something you have, if you have something to put it in, meaning a firearm, and it's ammo you have a firearm for, just get it. Just get it right now. You could trade it to somebody for something. Someone's looking for something. I had a coworker needed some 380, and he had some 45. I traded them, no problem. So you can do something with it. You got mags and you need a handguard. Hey, well, there you go. Whatever you can get. Right now, it's all lean. It's all lean. And it's funny, while they were restocking ammo for a while, they really have not restocked the guns or any of the parts and accessories. That's so far gone. And it almost makes me wonder, like, where is it all going? Or are they building it? Or have some of the manufacturers stopped, knowing that a ban's coming, and they'll be left with all this product that nobody wants because they got nothing to use it with? I don't know. That's a thought, huh? Anyways, if you haven't seen it, check out that Newsmax and check out that video of the attack on the White House, or not White House, the attack on Congress, and the video they show with the police talking, hanging with these guys. It's legit. Check it out. It was said New Yorker, so I don't know where they got it, if that was on maybe the New Yorker's website or something. But unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable. It shows what a scam, what an absolute scam. So check it out. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay home on Wednesday. Stay the hell home. It's all we need is an accident or something to go wrong, and we don't want to be the scapegoat. You don't want to be. There's a saying of live to fight another day. You know what I mean? And I think that's the way we got to go on this. I'm going to check in here one more time, and we're at 2 hours. I'm going to get gone here pretty quick. Let's see. Great advice. Well, thank you. But then I still run old Colt 20. $30 a good price. Internals, I saw one. Yeah, $30 lower parts kit. That's cheap. $40-$50 usually. I used to get them at 30, but yeah, I haven't seen that in forever. But yeah, that's a really good price. I have a sling and M7 bayonet attached. I had to split my difference. I had to build little by little. Yep. I'm still seeing parts, but I couldn't afford them. I'll do the trip to town tomorrow. Same as your Colt. Mine was way early. For you guys with Colts, take sure you get correct pons for newer uppers. Oh, pins. Yeah. They had different pins on the old Colts, but Michael, everything you see today, way back when I first started building, I worried about that. Oh, is it got these pins or that pins? Everything's the other pins now. So unless you got a really, really, really old receiver, like a 70s receiver, don't worry about the pins. They're all the same. Oh, you replaced your barrel, huh? Yeah. Well, guys, that's all I got for you. I don't know. I hate to be that downer. You guys are coming here and you're thinking, God, this guy's friggin' depressing. I don't want to come over here and listen to him. But you know, yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Stop by again. Hopefully, better situations, and check out some of the videos in the channel, guys. I got a few videos I'll put out this week. Some interesting stuff. Let me know what you want. I got a lot of call right now. There's guys on this VR80 shotgun. If you guys don't know what it is, Rock Island Armory, or Rock Island Arsenal, whatever. VR80. It's like a AR-15 shotgun. They're made in Turkey and imported by RAI, and they're fabulous. They run great. They're tough as nails. You can get 20-round mags for them, and they're just awesome. So a lot of guys are getting into using them for 3-gun, like they were the Vepers and stuff. It's a lot lighter than a Veper, and it always works. There's no dicking around with it trying to get it to run light loads. It'll run light loads, heavy loads, and people are going nuts on these VR80 videos, just basic stuff. I think a lot of these shotgun guys and stuff don't know a lot about ARs and whatnot. So how do you clean this? And how do you do the bolt and yada yada? And they're different than an AR, but some things are the same. So no computer issues. You got computer issues, or I do? Am I buffering? Anyhow, so they're calling for those videos. Yeah, I got a couple other things I'm going to put out. And but tell me what you guys want to see. Suggestions are always helpful. So if you got anything you want to see, put it in the comments here. And if I can get you a video on it, I will. And I'll bring you a video on that body armor. And I'll tell you about what I've heard good and bad about them. I'll tell you what I think, which I think it's good stuff, that AR-500. I don't see any real issues with it. And then I'll tell you what I've heard and seen is bad. But frankly, what's so bad? If it just saved you from one through the pumper and you got a little spalling here, I'd say you're probably pretty friggin' happy, right? Anyhow, so I'll get you some videos out. But hopefully Wednesday comes and goes and everything's cool and we can just work for and toward a solution. Guys, keep in mind, the best thing yet, it works. Call your state representatives, call your senators, call your governors, call them, write them, go to these. I'm not saying the capital things. I would stay, just my opinion. I'm staying away as far away as I can. But other, peaceful protest stuff, get out there. It means something. It means something. If you won't pick up a pen, like they all say, if you won't pick up a pen to write a letter about it, would you pick up a rifle? I don't think so. Let's just get it done, guys. It's time to dig in. I'm a bit beside myself tonight over all this. It's kind of why I did the thing. Just wanted to talk to you guys. It's just got me worried. It's the closest I've seen in my day and age to our worst fears coming true. So we'll see what happens over the next month or so, I'm sure. And hopefully it's not as bad as we think. But be ready. Have your gear ready. And be prepared. Keep your head on a swivel. Who knows what will come of this? And just keep your mind in the right place. Keep the attitude. Be the patriot you are. And know I think there's people in government that feel the same way. So hopefully this all passes and things work out. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the stories and stuff. And I know I jumped around a bit, but we covered the 3 things I wanted to cover and threw in some other stuff. So thanks for coming. Thanks for spending your evening with me. I appreciate it. Thanks to Jake for everything he does and all of you guys too. Joe, Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate all your comments and all of you guys. KMI Building, Michael Chatlick. I don't know who else is still in here, but I go back. I'll read the comments. I see it all. If I miss something, somebody said, who was it that stopped in and said they were from Chicago and that I ignored their what they said on my last stream. It wasn't that I ignored you. I didn't see it. I tried to jump in. It's hard. You guys got to see. You're trying to do the video, run the computer, read these, get back to the stuff. It's hard. So if I missed your comment or didn't respond, it's not because I wanted to. Keep in mind, guys, they're always demonetizing these videos and stuff. So any help is appreciated. There's super chats and all that kind of stuff you can do. I know right now, guys, just concentrate on getting your gear. I'm not asking you for money. Get your gear. That's what is important. I'll be just fine. But, these are monetized. You can do super chats and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. I do it for 2AEDU and other people that I watch and enjoy. And it helps out. It helps defer the cost of some of the videos and the ammo and all. Everything you see is on my dime. Nothing is given to me. I have no sponsors. I have no nothing. This is all my dime. The guns, the ammo, the cameras, the computers, the time, the everything. So any help would be appreciated. But until next week or next video, I think I'll probably see you sooner than you think, because I'll probably dump a video tomorrow or Wednesday if I got time. And we'll go from there. So thanks a lot again, guys. One more look over here. See, it jumped back up in the comments again. And I can't get all the way down to the bottom. All right. Buy any reloading supplies as well? Yes. I think my lucky stars. I was a couple weeks ahead on all of this, from the, ammo and reloading supplies disappeared at different times. And I ended up getting enough powder, enough bullets. I got lucky enough to get about 3,000 primers, but I have no small pistol primers. I am out, and haven't been able to find that. But everything else I got. So I'm lucky in that respect. But yeah, if you see it, grab it. Just grab it. You can trade powders and stuff to anybody. I mean, you get on a forum and you can find what you need if you got something to trade, and you don't need money then. So buy it. If it's out there, someone wants it. And if something does happen, it ain't going to be there, period. So just remember that. So get what you need, Stay safe. Keep your family safe. Be smart, guys. Keep your head on a swivel. If you see something, tell everybody about it. Let everybody know what's going on. We need to be the comms, the communications for everybody. Different parts of the country, where we're at, everywhere. It's kind of nice to have a view of all those different parts of the country. But by the same token, 3 seconds from now, zip, it could all be done and gone. And cells down, this down, that down, no way to communicate. Think about that one. Look up something called Baofeng, Baofeng, Baofeng. Cheap Chinese radios, shortwave ham radios. When I say cheap, $40 to $70, and you're in biz. You got communications. Range isn't all that great, and you can't transmit without a license, but there's no law against listening. That's another funny story. FBI put out something today on those radios that just a reminder letter that they cannot be used for criminal purposes, meaning if you use them to communicate for criminal reasons, you can be arrested. So that's probably, they're talking about chatter they heard on the internet about guys using those radios to communicate. I mean, there's so much out there, guys, that's just staring us in the face, and everyone's going, nah, this ain't gonna light off. This ain't gonna light off. I don't know. It's scary when they start dropping. It's legit too, guys. Guys checked it. the FCC came out with this notice. Whoever that is that does the radio crap. I have, you look at these radios, they look so damn complicated. I don't know, unless there's a boop power button and it all works. I don't know. I couldn't figure that crap out, but that's what they say is the thing to be able to listen in when everything else goes offline. So anyhow, hopefully I'm wrong, and I'll put my tinfoil hat on next week, and we'll all be good. But until then, take care, guys. If you need to get a hold of me, hit up any of the comments on any one of my videos. I answer them all. So just grab a video, type a comment. I'll get there. You can hit my Facebook page. If you want to leave me an email or IM me on Facebook, we can talk a little more in depth if you need an answer on something, where to get something or something like that. So other than that, check in with me and stay safe, guys. And as always, sorry for the long drag out. Rockford Ordnance out. Good night.